So this is our second game, uh, with ZertoN up here in the top, and me down here in the bottom. Still white versus light blue. Still Marines versus Renegades. Still in the Ladder Wars tournament. This happened pretty much immediately after I won that first game. And it's a similar start from both sides. But it goes a bit differently in the end because of a few decisions I make, and I think ZertoN being a bit more. Actually, no, this isn't. This isn't the game where he's a bit more aggressive. I don't think this is a game where I think I made the mistakes. But here on Penguin Paradise, this is a smaller map. This actually, even though it's a 6-player map, actually a really small map. Especially, it's not too bad when you're playing Marines, but as if you have two factions that have to base skip like this, you end up meeting in the middle very quickly. And once again, entirely typical start here from ZertoN, and exact same thing from me. I believe on this map, I even did the same. Yep, I even did the same greedy rush the fourth harvester out, because even though this map was a bit smaller, I thought I could get that done, and it would give me this the same good eco that I had last game. I wasn't expecting to be able to take a game off ZertoN. I was maybe hoping to take one, which I did, and after taking the first game, I was quite hyped. I thought, all right, let's keep doing that. Let's just keep sticking with what worked. So, going for that tech lab. He's got his same little army out here as he attacked with before. Had a Marine on the high ground, scouting stuff out. Got killed. Rest in peace, that Marine. And then, once again, he comes up to the Ogres. And even with this smaller number of Ogres, they're just like, no, you're not allowed. You're not allowed to do that. Now, there's something I do slightly different in this game. Is that from here, so I obviously couldn't see up on this high ground. I assumed that he would stay up on this high ground, maybe even push up to here and start attacking this building. Maybe just sit up here now that he hadn't attacked the building. So I was like, okay, he's got the high ground. And so I made this harpy to go up and check before I sent these up there. So I was like, okay, no, I found it now. And he's spreading out some dudes around the map now. And after seeing this one little guy, I was like, okay, no, that's just one guy. All right, I'm going to push out the map and look around a bit more because he'll send a few more of those down. And I find this guy. And he is, here we go, going for that exact same thing he did last game. One barracks, one factory, starting to get air. And I'm just playing with him here because I know that my army is strong enough to at least... I wouldn't maybe want a full engagement with this, but I can have a bit of fun. And you can see I'm making harpies. This is because I want to be a bit more aggressive. The rocket infantry here, really bad at killing harpies, right? I believe even the tanks aren't great at killing harpies. I'm not sure about that, though. I'd have to look it up. But the point is, harpies, even with their low health, they can take quite a lot from them. And they deal that big AoE damage, which against a lot of these small rocket soldiers is really good. Really helpful to go along with these. But here I see he has his first copter out. And I actually have been a bit slow here, I believe. I think this was just an entire mess up for me. I was getting too involved in microing these little skirmishes. And this is really late. I think actually it was one of these buildings that was slower and slowed down my whole build. And so I have no anti-air here. I'm just starting to pump out Marines and get this up. And so I'm in quite a bad spot as these then start harassing me. Now, I actually didn't notice these harassing me right now. As you can see, I would have sent my Marines and Manticore back, but I sort of pushed up this way. And I saw this heading up there, which tells me, he has buildings up here. And so I thought, I looked up here and was like, if I can position my army up here, I could start killing some of these, pushing back here, be really annoying to him. And then this would go really well. All this time, So I'm just harassing him with these harpies, running in, getting a scout, seeing what's happening. And I'm like, okay, now, there we go. I've got a couple Manticore out. I've got a load of Marines out. I think I could take these helicopters. And seeing all these helicopters here, I'm like, okay, this is where his helicopters are. Oh, this map awareness. This is awful. So I start pushing up on this side, and I see his army's quite far back here, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. I can push up and do some damage here. My Shrikes get a bit of a shoot on. Those Shrikes, I don't know how that happened. They went way too far. But then I pull my army back. I've got quite a good concave, quite a good line where they're all hitting. And then these guys, I'm like, okay, I can keep doing some harassment up here while this army fights that. I think that'll be fine if I grab some more Shrikes. And at this point, I think I started looking back here and going, oh shit, I only have a few Shrikes. It's building quite slowly. I can't see why my army's building so slowly. And I think now I started to realise, I think, yeah, there, just before, a little while earlier, I realised the extent of my mishap. I'd been focusing so much on this good play here. Because you see, what actually had happened, I'd, like, taken out his entire ability to produce air. If, like I'd thought, these had been his only air, this would have been really good for me. I mean, I actually have too many Manticores in this army to deal with these, but I have a load of Harpies, which sort of make up for the lack of them. Because look how much damage those Harpies... I mean, they just missed that attack. But they actually, look at that, they do really well against these rocket infantry. There's now no rocket infantry alive. It's only artillery, and Manticores will shred through artillery and air. But I didn't realise that those two helicopters had gone through all of my base and taken this out. And so I just sort of pushed in with this big all-in attack, but there was just sort of nothing I could do, really. This was all I had left was these Manticores. These outranged Manticores horribly and not being able to move and shoot. This is pretty done. I think I tried to get some more of these out, but look how bad my production was. In all of that fighting, I got 2 of them and a Shrike out. 2 Ogres and a Shrike. So, I was sort of, after this game, I was sort of like, I'd calmed down a lot now, and I was kind of like, fuck, I really threw that, didn't I? But it's okay, I just thought, you know, just go here, do a bit of micro, have a bit of fun, crush a few MG infantry there, and we'll move on to the next game.